Hey, welcome back to the Infinite Woman Universe Show. I'm your host, Angela, and today we are going to talk about what to do when you know you need to do things, but you just can't do them. So if you struggle with getting things done that you know you need to do, stay tuned. Hi, I'm Angela, trauma healer and self-sabotage slayer. I help soul-aligned service providers and trauma coaches slay self-sabotage so they can embody freedom, live on their terms, and do business their way. And let's dive into this content. This is so important because I know that there are so many women out there, especially women entrepreneurs, women service providers, life coaches, trauma coaches, that know that they need to do things, but they don't actually go and do them. You probably have a whole list of all the things that you know that you need to get done to probably move the needle forward, to feel fulfillment, feel accomplished. But instead of doing that, you just immediately go to maybe watch Netflix or go do something like the dishes that ultimately it doesn't matter, right? Ultimately, those parts don't matter, okay? And Netflix, there will always be Netflix, right? Netflix will always be there. There will always be a show to binge watch. The dishes can sit in the sink. That doesn't matter. But moving the needle forward in your business is essentially bringing in revenue, generating income so that you can, number one, feel supported, but also so that you can serve at the best of your ability. And I've struggled with this before, but most of my clients have really struggled with this. And the truth is that we don't even have to attack this problem. We don't. Do we need to talk about it? Yes, absolutely. But ultimately, this is not really the issue, okay? I know that this is going to sound crazy, but this is not really the issue. Doing things that you know that you need to do, but don't do them, that's not actually the issue. There are several other issues that we must address, and it totally shifts everything. And I'll give you an example, okay? I had a client that I work with, and she struggled with this exact same thing. She knew she needed to do these things, but she couldn't bring herself to do them. Well, as soon as we worked together, all of that disappeared. And as soon as she started to dig deeper and dig deeper and dig deeper about what it is that she really wanted to do with her work, what her soul was really calling her to do, things started to shift, okay? And when you're starting to really realize what it is that you want to do, everything starts to shift, okay? So I want you to know that it is possible for you to do the things that you know you need to do that move the needle forward without a fight, without forcing yourself to do it, okay? Every single day, there are things in my business that I do that make me uncomfortable, that I know that I need to do, and I execute on them. There's not a fight about executing on them. I don't try to talk myself out of executing on them. If I know, like, I'm a single mom, so sometimes, things get in the way. If I know that my daughter is going to be home, or if I know something's going to happen, or our schedule gets messed up, I do these things regardless. Okay, I don't use other things as an excuse not to do them. But this is how you ultimately fix this, okay? Number one, I know that you're going to love that I'm going to say this right now. Number one, you must heal from your childhood trauma, okay? When you carry childhood trauma, it totally dysregulates your nervous system and really messes with your mind, okay? It literally, your mind is already naturally fear-based. It's already scared of everything, okay? And then when you add trauma on top of it, it just triggers this ultimate fear-based mindset. Okay, most of you know this as like a fixed mindset, right? But the trauma ultimately triggers that, okay? And the trauma ultimately triggers that because your body has not actually reset from the stress response of the trauma. Okay, this is why your trauma is so important to heal. Once you heal this, it allows you to come back to a space of being able to breathe properly, being able to feel properly, being able to think properly, okay? And once you're able to do that, you start to realize that a lot of the things that you believe, a lot of the things that you have felt in your life are false. They're not true. So ultimately, healing your trauma, and especially when you unlearn your childhood conditioning, which we're going to talk about next, it dismantles your whole reality, okay? And not to be super scary or anything like that, but you really do realize that you have carried and picked up things, beliefs, energy, pain that is actually not yours. And when you release your trauma, you start to see straight, if you will. You start to actually allow yourself to feel, and you realize the things that you're doing, especially when it comes to work, you don't want to do them. It's not really where your soul is at. It's not really completely soul aligned for you. It might have been aligned for the person that you were, but once you heal that trauma, you become an entirely different person all the way around. There's just no way around that. And so I want you to know that healing your trauma will change your life. It will allow you to really step into your power and own who you are and become soul aligned so that you will do the things that you need to do. Okay, the next thing that you want to make sure that you're doing is unlearning your childhood conditioning, your unhealthy childhood conditioning, really. Okay, again, this is the same type of concept. You have picked up beliefs, you have picked up conditioning, you have picked up pain, you have picked up words that are not yours, okay? This is why when you're younger and you're 18 years old and you see all these kids around you that are immediately going into being a lawyer or going to be a doctor or going to be a business management or becoming a dentist and all of these things, and then later on they change their majors in school. Okay, they change their majors. What you discover is that we really do things out of pleasing our parents or hoping that our parents are going to be proud of us. And ultimately, that's not really who you are. Unhealthy childhood conditioning makes you someone that you are not. And this is why it is so important for you to start to be aware and brutally honest with yourself about what it is that you truly want out of your life and who you are. And this is why learning that unhealthy childhood conditioning is so critical. Because once you learn who you truly are, what you truly want out of life, and what your purpose actually is, then it changes everything. It changes everything. It shifts your mindset. It allows you to understand who you actually are and what you like and what you don't like. And it allows you to actually set boundaries so much easier. And if you struggle with setting boundaries, I'll leave a video for you here so that you can check that out. But this is going to be another critical component, because once you discover who you truly are, once you let go of everybody else's bullshit, and especially with your caregivers, and not that they tried to do this to you on purpose or not that they were bad people, it's just that we're all conditioned out of being who we're really meant to be. And so once you come back home to yourself, that's what I call coming back home, you start to realize that what was going on before is not who you are. And it makes it so much easier to get things done because you're now soul aligned with who you are. You feel good about who you are. You feel good on a regular basis, which is what alignment is ultimately about. And I'll leave a video for you here if you want to know more about alignment. So it creates these things, okay? These are going to be the most critical pieces of anything that you ever do in your life, especially when it comes to your business. Because ultimately, if you know that you need to do these things and you are not showing up for yourself, it is because you do not feel safe being seen and heard. And this is huge. This is mind-blowing, okay? Because other coaches and other gurus want to tell you that it's about your mindset. It's a mindset problem. It's a mindset problem. It's not. It's a safety problem, okay? If you're not feeling safe internally, if you're not feeling safe being seen and heard to show up in your business and do the things that you know that you need to do, that's a trauma problem. That's a childhood conditioning problem. Okay, that's not a mindset problem. And it's not a mindset problem because most of the time, your mindset can shift about 90% into the direction that you want it to go by healing your childhood trauma and unlearning unhealthy childhood conditioning. It will shift automatically. So once you start to realize that this is not a mindset thing, this is about feeling safe, seen, and heard, everything shifts. Okay, because you can start to ask yourself, do I really feel safe being seen and heard? Do I feel safe shining my light? Do I feel safe speaking up? And if the answers are no, well then it comes from trauma. It doesn't come from your mindset. The next piece of this is going to be tapping into what it is that you truly, truly want to do with your work and your life. Okay, this is about the embodiment of freedom. The embodiment of freedom is different for everybody, okay? It looks different, it feels different. What you do to achieve that or feel that, embody that is completely different. So you've got to tap in to your soul. You have got to tap into your intuition. And if you struggle with that, I'll leave a video here. But you've got to start tapping into who you truly are. And just so you know, when you heal your childhood trauma and unlearn your unhealthy childhood conditioning, tapping in gets so much easier because you feel more comfortable listening to yourself. You feel like you've got your own back. So again, these are building blocks to what we're getting to. Okay, so you want to make sure that you're tapping in, because the truth is that even if you're running a business that is generating money or, that you created yourself, just because you're generating a business, if it's not, or generating, okay, just because you have a business doesn't mean it's actually what your soul aligns with. It doesn't mean that it's actually what you're meant to do. And so it is going to be very critical for you to tap into yourself and ask yourself, is this truly what I want to do with the rest of my life? Because if it's not, if you have resistance, if you hate doing the things that you're supposed to be doing as far as your work goes, you're probably not supposed to be doing that. And eventually what happens is you will start to treat your business like a job, where you only show up 9 to 5 and you clock out and then that's it. And then you only do what you have to do to survive. We have ended just surviving a long time ago. Okay, so this is why it's so important for you to tap in. Just because you own a business doesn't mean that it's truly what you want to do with your life or what's calling you, what's burning for you, right? And when I work with my clients one-to-one, we go through their gene key chart that literally spells out your life's work and your purpose. So if you are interested in just going down this path and unlearning your unhealthy childhood conditioning and healing your trauma and slaying self-sabotage forever, reach out to me. I have one-to-one spaces available. So if you really want to be able to understand your life's work and your purpose, then it's about tapping in. You can, of course, go get your charts absolutely for free. So you can do that yourself. It spells it all out for you, but they can be overwhelming. So if you're interested in that, let me know. But anyway, so you've got to be able to tap in, okay? You've got to be able to tap in. If you're not tapping in, then all of this is a waste of time, okay? That's why That's why you're here, right? You're a soul-aligned service provider, right? Which could mean life coach. You're probably a trauma coach, right? You're one of those things where you really do come from a place of service because you know what it's like to be in somebody's shoes and you just want to give back. This is ultimately what this is about, right? But you can't do that if you are ignoring the calling. Okay, the thing that burns in your heart and in your mind, but you tell yourself that you can't have that for whatever reason, or you won't make money from that for whatever reason. If you are blocking yourself from having this or doing this, guess what will happen? You won't do any of the things that you need to do because it will feel like an uphill battle doing something that you don't truly want to do or isn't truly your calling or your passion or your life's work. Okay, so I want you to be aware of this. Now, let's talk about what happens if you've healed your childhood trauma. What happens if you have unlearned your unhealthy conditioning? You are soul aligned, you've tapped in, you have worked on feelings, being safe, seen, and heard. And this is exactly what you want to do, but you just can't bring yourself to do it, okay? Usually at this point, we've tapped into why you haven't showed up for yourself and for your business and doing the things that you need to do somewhere within these blocks, okay? But there is a component of it, okay? There is a component of it, and that is discipline. That is your habits. The reality is that if you are not disciplined, if you are not creating healthy habits for yourself, and this is how you know actually if you are really healing from your trauma, is if you're doing morning routines to help you stay regulated on a regular basis. And I'll leave that self-care video for you here, okay? So, but you want to check in with your habits and your discipline, okay? The reality is that there are going to be things that you don't want to do, that you don't feel like doing, that you've still got to do, okay? There has to be a very good balance between masculine and feminine energy, which we all have. And the masculine is the doer and the feminine is the receiver. So if you are constantly just going, well, I don't feel like doing it, it is very much going to screw you. Hold on just a second. So you want to make sure that your habits and your discipline are also in place. And I'm pretty sure I have a video for that, so I'll link that for you here. Okay, but when you're healed, creating habits and routines are going to be very easy for you to develop. And the main focus for you is going to be self-care. And then you're able to build this structure. But again, if you don't do these building blocks, self-discipline is going to be a pain in the ass. It's going to be hard. It's going to be a challenge. But this is how you, I don't want to say make yourself, but this is how you get to the point where you are easily able to do things without hesitation, without a challenge, without resistance. And if you struggle with resistance, I'll leave a video for you here. But this is how you solve this problem, okay? There are many components that go to this to get you to that point, okay? I honestly have to go pick up my daughter, so I have to cut this short. But if you like this video, please make sure you like and subscribe. It helps me build my channel, and I can't wait to see you for the next one, and I will see you later. Bye.